Hello everyone. I want to welcome everyone watching this video on my channel and also on these complete C programming tutorials. In this tutorial, you will learn C programming from very basic to really advanced. So let's start. So this is part 7.2, and if you have not watched part 7.1, make sure that you watch it. I have provided the link in the description. So in part 7.1, we talked about arithmetic operator, relational operator and assignment operator. And today in this part 7.2, I will be talking about logical operator, increment and decrement operator, conditional operator, bitwise operator and special operator. So let's begin with logical operator. So what are logical operators? Logical operators are the operator which perform logical comparison. We have three logical operators in C language which are summarized in the table, that is logical AND, logical OR and logical NOT. So this logical AND produces true value if all the operands are true. Similarly, logical OR produces true value if any of the operator is true, at least one must be true, and logical NOT. This alters the operand. So here's the summarized table of these all operators and their operation. So here 1 stands for true and 0 stands for false. So when you observe first, second and third column, there's only one true value in the third column. That is when both the value of A and B were true. So logical AND produces true if all the operands are true. Similarly, if you observe first, second and fourth column, you can see three true values on the fourth column and only one false value, that is on the first row. So this logical OR produces true if any of the operand is true. That means at least one operand must be true. If none of the operand is true, then it will produce false value. Similarly, if you look at first column and second and last column, you can see both of them are altered. That means 0 on the first and second column will turn into 1 in second last and last column. Similarly, 1 will turn into 0. So let's create a new file, Ctrl+N, and let's give it a comment or the title, that is demonstration 2 logical operator. So I include the header file using #include stdio.h. This s must be small over here, and I write the main function over here. So let's define a macro over here using #define, and I write over here true, whose value will be equals to 1, and I define over here false, whose value is going to be 0. So now let's initialize two variables over here, A, whose initial value will be true, and B, whose value will be false. So let's close it using a semicolon. Now let's print the result. Printf, here it is, the logical NOT of A and B is modulus D and modulus D. So here we have. So how to use logical NOT? That's exclamation and operand. So I write over here exclamation A and exclamation B and a semicolon at last. So let's save it. So I'll name it logic.c and let's compile and run it. So let's keep it over here. So the value of A was true, which means the logical NOT of A must be false, that is 0. So here we have the logical NOT of A and B is 0 and 1. So the first one we have, that is logical NOT of A, that is 0, that is false, and we have again logical NOT of B, that is true, as the initial value was false. So this altered the value of operand, that is true to false and false to true. So let's close it and remove this line using Ctrl D, and let's remove this too. So let's write a print statement over here, printf, and let's see what does logical AND do. Here we have the logical AND. Let's clear all this and let's write the result of logical AND between two true values is modulus D. Here we have, and let's write a comma over here. Let's zoom out a bit. and let's write over here true, the symbol of logical and true again, and a semicolon at last. So here it is. So let's save the program and let's compile and check. So here's the output. The result of logical AND between two true values is true. So let's again alter this. Between true and false is true, and over here to false. False. So let's save the program and compile and run it. So here it is. The result of logical AND between true and false is 0, that is false, as I said before. So now let's check for logical OR operator. So true or false. So I'll change the symbol over here to OR operator. The symbol is this. I'll save the program and compile and run the program. So the result of logical OR between true or false is 1, which I already said. So again let's change this true to false and this true to also false. So here we have. Let's save the program again and let's compile and run it. So the result of logical OR between false or false is 0. So this was simple demonstration of logical operator. So let's delete this line using Ctrl D. Let's drag this to its original position up to here. And now let's again write over here. Let's first declare two variables, that is a equals to 7 and b equals to 5. Now here we have. So in part 7.1 we talked about this greater than or equals to. So let's test it over here. So I write printf and the result of greater than equals to is modulus d, and I'll write over here in bracket that is a is greater than b. This is one condition, and I'll use over here logical OR, and I'll add another condition, that is a is equals to b. So let's zoom it a bit. So here we have. So this and these are relational operator and this is logical operator. So if the result of this relation and this relation are both false, then it will be false, or any of these value is true, then this will result true. So let's add a semicolon over here and let's zoom out, and now let's save it and let's compile and check. Here it is. So let's see over here we have a equals to 7 and b equals to 5. On the first relation, that is a is greater than b, so 7 is greater than 5. That's true. So this statement is true. So as this is OR operator, that is logical OR, it won't really matter if we don't consider this second operator. So that is our answer will be 1. That is true. So let's cancel it again or close it, and let's change its value to 4. So now as I save the program and compile and run it, now you can see over here the result of greater than equals to is 0. Why is it so? It's because a is greater than b is also false, as 4 is greater than 5 is false, and 4 is not equals to 5. So false and false will give you false when it's logical OR. I close it over here too, and let's keep it again 7, and now let's change this OR operator to logical AND. Here it is. Now again I save the program and compile and run it. So here we get the result of greater than equals to is 0. Though our first relation, that is a is greater than b, gives true value, the second one is false, that is 7 is not equals to 5. So this will give us false result, that is 0. So let's close it again. We mostly use this logical operator in branching statement. So after logical operator there comes increment and decrement operator. So increment operator, that is plus plus, is used to increase the value of an operand by 1. Similarly, decrement operator, that is minus minus, is used to decrease the value of an operand by 1. So let us suppose a equals to 10. Then if I do a plus plus, then the value will be 11, as increment operator increase the value of a by 1. So similarly, if a equals to 11 and if we perform a minus minus, this will be 10. I create a new file once again and let's give it a title Demonstration 2, increment operator. So I add a header file over here, include stdio.h, and write a main function over here, main. Now let's initialize a variable, that is a, with its initial value to 10 and give a semicolon over here. So now let's write a++. This will increase the value of a by 1. So I write over here printf. Let's write it, the value of a equals to modulus d, and we have over here a. Let's give a semicolon, let's duplicate it 2 times, and let's move this above. Now this will first print the value of a, then perform increment operation, and again this will perform decrement operation, and then print the decremented value. So I save it using Ctrl S, and let's name it increment and decrement, increment and decrement .c. So I save it. Now let's compile and run it. So the value of a was initially 10, then the value of a became 11, then the value of a again changed to 10. So let's see this, why did this happen? So initially at this print statement, the value of a was 10, so this printed 10. After this a++, the value of a changed to 11, so this print statement printed 11. Similarly, after this a minus minus, the value of a, that is 11, decremented to 10, so it printed the value of a is 10. So let's close this, let's edit it. It was of increment and decrement operator. So this increment and decrement operator are of 2 types, which are postfix and prefix. Now what are postfix? So you see over here this a++ and a minus minus, these are example of postfix operator. So I write over here postfix operator. So in this, operators are written after operand. We have operators are written after operand, that is a++ and a minus minus, after operand. So examples are a++ and a minus minus. Similarly, what are prefix then? So these are the operators which are written before the operand, that is plus a and minus minus a. So now what's the difference between this postfix and prefix operator? So this postfix operator changes the value of operand after the execution, and prefix changes the value of operand before the operation. So let's see a very good example over here. I cancel it all. So I initialize a variable over here, int a equals to 10, and give a semicolon over here, and I write a print statement. So I'll give here the value of a is modulus d, and I'll write it plus a. So I'll give a semicolon over here, and again I'll write printf. Let's better duplicate this, and I'll change this plus or remove this plus. So I'll also add a line breaker over here. Now I'll save the program and compile and run it. So here it is. What did we get? The value of a is 11 and the value of a is 11. So this might not make it clear. So let's close it, and now let's change this prefix to postfix. That is, I'll add this to plus behind a. Now save the program and compile and run it. So now what happened is, this time this printed the value of a to 10 and again the value of a to 11. Though this was a++, it printed 10. Why? That's because it's a postfix operator, and this will change the value of operator after the execution. That means this will first print the value of a equals to 10, then increase the value of a, that is it will be 11, then on the next step this will print the value of a to 11. So this was all about postfix and prefix operator. So the next operator is conditional operator. So the pair of symbol you see on the screen, that is question mark and column, this is called conditional operator. And the syntax for using conditional operator is, so if the expression 1 is true, then this will give us statement 1, and if expression 1 is false, we will get expression 2. So let's demonstrate it. So I create a new file and I'll give a title very quickly, demonstration 2 conditional operator. So I'll include a header file over here, #include stdio.h. So I'll write a main function over here. So at first let's declare three variables, a, b and c, and let's give a semicolon. Let's first initialize the value of a to 10 and b to 12, and let's write over here c equals to a greater than b question mark and then a and colon then b and a semicolon over here. So this is how we use conditional statement. Let's keep this in bracket, it will be easy for us. So if this expression is true, the value of c is going to be a, and if this expression is false, the value of c is going to be b. So let's print the statement over here, printf. At first let's zoom out. The largest number is modulus d, and over here I write c and a semicolon over here. So how this c is going to be the largest number? Due to this conditional statement. So if a is greater than b, then the value of c is going to be a, because this condition will be true. And if b is greater, then this expression is false and the value of c will be b. So by both way the value of c will be largest. So let's save the program. Let's name it condition.c and let's compile and run it. And here we have the largest number is 12. So between 10 and 12, 12 was the largest. So again let's close it. So we can reverse this program, just change this sign to less than, and let's also change this to smallest, and let's compile and run it. So here we have the smallest number is 10. So the next operator I'll be talking about is bitwise operator. So bitwise operators are used for manipulating the data at bit level, and they can only be applied on the integer data. So what this bitwise operator do is, first it converts the given integer value to its respective binary bits and then performs operation between them. So they are used for testing the bit and shifting the bit. So the bitwise operator used in C programming language are bitwise logical operator. Under bitwise logical operator we have three operators, that is bitwise AND, bitwise OR and bitwise XOR or exclusive OR. Similarly there's bitwise shift operator, and under this operator we have bitwise left shift operator and bitwise right shift operator. And the last one is bitwise ones complement operator. So let's talk about it one by one. So first there comes bitwise AND. So here's the truth table of AND operator. So in a C program, if a equals to 25 and b equals to 7, then a bitwise AND b will be 1. Now how will it be? So this bitwise AND will first convert the value of a and b to its respective binary bit, that is a equals to 11001 and b equals to 00111. And now this will perform logical AND between each bit, and the result will be 0 0 0 0 and 1, which is equivalent to 1. So we can demonstrate this too. Let's go to dev C++. So let's create a file and let's comment it, demonstration of bitwise operator. So let's include a header file over it, include stdio.h. And now let's write a main function over here. Here it is. Now let's write print statement, printf, and let's write here the bitwise AND of 25 and 7 is modulus d, and I'll be writing over here 25 bitwise AND and 7. So let's add a semicolon at last. Now let's save it. Let's name it bitwise.c. So let's compile and run the program. Here it is. The bitwise AND of 25 and 7 is 1. So let's close it again. So the next one is bitwise OR. So here's the truth table of OR operator, and we have a equals to 25 and b equals to 7 again. Then a bitwise b will be 31. Likewise bitwise AND, This will first convert A and B to its respective binary bits, that is A equals to 11001 and B equals to 00111. And now this will perform logical OR operation between the corresponding bits, and the result will be 1 1 1 1 and 1. So this will be equivalent to 31. So let's demonstrate this too. Let's duplicate it and let's change this AND to OR and this symbol to OR symbol we have here. And let's add a line breaker over here, and now let's save the program and now compile and run it. So this is going to display the bitwise AND of 25 and 7 is 1 and the bitwise OR of 25 and 7 is 31. So let's close it. And the last bitwise logical operator is bitwise XOR operator. It's also called bitwise exclusive OR operator. So here's the truth table of XOR operator. Let's take A equals to 25 and B equals to 7. Then A XOR B will be 30. Likewise, bitwise AND operator and bitwise OR operator, this will also convert A and B to its respective binary bits, that is A equals to 11001 and B equals to 00111, and then this will perform XOR operation between its corresponding bits, and the result will be 1111 and 0, which is equal to 30. So here we copy this and let's add a line breaker over here, and let's add it. The XOR of 25 and 7 will be, I add over here caret, and now let's save the program and let's compile and run it. So here it is. The bitwise XOR of 25 and 7 is 30. So now let's close it. So now bitwise left shift operator. So we have A equals to 25. Then A left shift 1 will be 50. So this will also convert this A equals to 25 to its respective binary bit, that is A equals to 111001. I have only taken the limited bit. So what this bitwise left shift operator does is, so now what will A left shift 1 be then? So this bitwise left shift operator will shift each bit towards left. That is 1 will move to left side, again 0 will move to its left, again this 0 will move to left, and so on. So the result will be 1 1 0 0 and 1. And you can see the empty space, the program will automatically fill 0 over there. So this is equivalent to 50. So again we have bitwise right shift operator. So let's again take A equals to 25. Then A right shift 1 will be 12. So this will also convert A equals to 25 to its respective binary bit, that is 0 1 1 0 0 1, and then this performs bitwise right shift operation. So this operator shifts each bit to the right, that is 0 in place of 1, again 1 2 in place of 1, and this 1 2 again 0, and so on. So finally it will be 0 1 1 0 0, and there's a blank space. So this is also going to be filled with 0 automatically. So this is equivalent to 12. So let me demonstrate it. Now I copy it using Ctrl E. Now I will change this to left shift and I will remove this 7. So the bitwise left shift of 25 is, here we have left shift, the symbol is this, and 1 over here. Again we have right shift, and let's put 1 over here too, and change this to right shift. Okay, and compile and run it. The bitwise left shift of 25 is 50 and bitwise right shift of 25 is 12. So let's close it. Now let me show you one more thing. Let's copy it and let's change this to 3. Now what will this do? So right shift 3 will perform right shift 1 3 times. So I'll save the program and compile and run it. So I get over here the bitwise right shift of 25 is 3. So now let's close it. So the last bitwise operator is bitwise ones complement operator. So here we have A equals to 25. Then tilde A, that is ones complement of A, will be minus 26. So let's duplicate it. So let's change this to bitwise ones complement. Over here ones complement of 25 is, let's remove it and let's add a tilde over here. Now let's save the program and let's compile and run. So here it is, the bitwise ones complement of 25 is minus 26. Now the last operator is special operator. There are 4 special operators, which are comma operator, size of operator, pointer operator, and member selection operator. So in this video I will only talk about comma operator and size of operator. So this comma operator can be used to link related expressions together. So how had we been declaring multiple variables? Using comma operator. And size of operator. So what does this size of operator actually do? So this size of operator is used to find the size of an operand, that is how much memory does an operand occupy. So again let's create a new file and now let's give it a title, that is demonstration2. special operator. Special operators that are namely comma operator and size of operator. So I'll be including here include stdio.h, and I'll write the main function over here. Now let's declare three variables, that is int a, comma b, comma and c. So we write over here c equals to, now let's start a small bracket, and now let's initialize the value of a inside it, that is a equals to 10, and let's give a comma and let's initialize the value of b, that is b equals to 12, and then let's add a plus b and a semicolon at last. So now let's print the value of c, and let's see what will be the value of c. The value of c modulus d, and I write over here c and a semicolon at last. Now let's save the program, let's name it special.c, and now let's compile and run this program. So here we get the value of c is 22. Now this 22 is the sum of 10 and 12. So now let's close it. So we can use this comma operator to link expressions. Similarly, let's delete this, and now let's use size of operator. Here we have b equals to size of a. So this is going to store the size of variable a in b, that is how much memory does this a occupy. So now let's print b. The size of a variable is, let's give it here modulus d and write over here b and a semicolon at last. So now let's save the program. As a is a variable with int data type, its size must be 4 byte. So let's compile and check what will be its size. So you can see the size of a variable is 4. So let's close it. So this was all about special operator, that is comma and size of operator. So these were the operators which I explained in this part 7, that is part 7.1 and 7.2. Among these operators, increment and decrement operator was unary operator and conditional operator was ternary operator. Besides these two operators, all were binary operator. I hope you understood all these operators. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel. And also click the bell icon to get notified about my future videos.